No, I've seen people that have them and they don't make them take them off. We'll see. Either that or I'll just put it in my, well, and the thing is, in the Minnesota leg, it's not going to matter, but yeah. So. I'll get arrested.
We're going to crank it up. We got 50 seconds here to wake up the YouTube robots. Hello, YouTube robots. We're on there now. Start telling people we're here. Ice in your pants.
Are ICE agents going to move into American airports starting tomorrow, Monday?
Yes. And I'm currently working on the plan now of execution.
Lost in Iran.
This is nonsensical.
Art of the deal?
Well, this is what happens when you put real estate developers and talk show hosts in charge of American national security.
Now he wants Cuba.
Whether I free it, take it, I think I could do anything I want with it.
Grab a booth. Diner's open. Let's go.
Today is going to be my peaceful day.
Looking at how Congress understood election day to voting, what it thought in 2022, or should we be looking at the late 19th century and the Civil War practices?
I think most vitally it still remains
Live at the Supreme Court,
especially
oral argument on
given
mail-in
that
ballots.
we have statutes that are
Hey,
trying
agree.
to manifestly achieve.
That'll wake up the
uniformity in what it
YouTube
requires
robots. The
also.
Supreme Court oral arguments.
Yeah.
So Congress carried over.
Heggery's
in
here.
2022
Heggery's
the
under
same
Heggery.
understanding.
Isn't it the whole
Hey.
state of
Persisted
Washington that
throughout.
sends
I
out
think that's what
all
untraced
do
about.
mail-in ballots?
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Jamie could tell you all about it.
Yeah.
This is not about.
Jamie's not here today. She's swimming.
Oh,
Yep, she was going swimming.
good for her.
She's going swimming. They fixed her swimming pool at her gym or wherever she goes. Aggery. Now, how are you getting to us, Aggery? Are you coming in on Lazy Man Cooks, or how do you get notified we're live, or do you just remember? I'm doing a. This is a poll. This is market. I'm market testing. I'm trying to find out how people get here, so I can make sure I'm doing all the right things to notify people. Oh, that's Justice Pat Jackson. You know what this case is? Mississippi passed a law that they can take 5 days to count mail-in ballots, 5 days after the election, so long as they're postmarked before the election. They said that, if they don't get them, right after the election, they have 5 days to receive the ballots and count them. And the Republican National Committee has sued and taken this all the way to the Supreme Court, fighting that, because they don't want mail-in ballots to be counted after election day, no matter when they're postmarked, even if they're postmarked before election.
Well, I hope it's all Republican ballots that don't get counted.
Yeah, I don't get it. They're just. I remember when Republicans used to be the pioneers of mail-in. When I was in Florida, and that first got going, Republicans were the first to jump on it. And Democrats got way behind and lost elections over it. And now Republicans are all against it.
And it's just like the SAVE Act. It's like most of the women in the South, they have changed their names when they got married. They have changed their names. Up in the North, we maybe we didn't get married, or we kept our names.
I hyphenated.
Yeah. But they're going to have more trouble getting their documents probably. I think it's going to hurt. The people they think are going to vote for them.
Oh yeah.
For sure. A lot of Republicans will tell you they're horrified by Trump doing this because they think it's going to hurt them in the long run, because they've always done well with mail-in ballots, and I don't know what he's just obsessed with it.
And then John Thune says, Democrat, they're just going to have to say yes eventually. This is the way it is, and on everything, they just think that everybody's going to cave, and it's like I don't have confidence in Schumer and Jeffries at all. But I call everybody. I call Patty Murray. I call Chris Murphy. I call everybody.
Yeah.
Hey,
Chris Murphy! I got some Chris Murphy right here.
Good.
I've been enjoying him.
Their goal is not regime change. They are perfectly satisfied.
You gotta take this off the stage. Should I gotta put this on the stage?
To leave in charge of Iran a regime that is going to be worse for American interests than the previous regime. What we know is that the minute we stop bombing, this new regime is going to start rebuilding their missile capacity and their drone capacity. The estimates are that it'll only
I
take
love
a
his finish
handful of
here. It's
months
great.
to reconstitute that threat. So what did we get at the end of this war? We're going to waste billions of dollars. We're going to get dozens, if not hundreds of Americans killed. We're going to start new conflicts in the region. And when it's all said and done, a more provocative regime is going to be in charge with the same military capacities. This is nonsensical. This is what happens when you put real estate developers and talk show hosts in charge of American national security.
I like that part.
Yep.
What happens when you put real estate developers and talk show hosts in charge of American national security?
Yeah, and now did you see Bibi Netanyahu? He made another live appearance, and he said,
Yeah, you know what?
What's
I
the
think
world
he was.
waiting for? Why aren't you helping us? It's like, don't you see the horrible things Iran is doing? You know, it's like, and meanwhile they're bombing Gaza and bombing Lebanon and doing all the things.
Yeah. I mean, that cracked me up. I saw him like when you were talking about when you raised that question, is BB dead? Where is he? Why aren't we seeing him? The next day, or maybe even later that day, he suddenly showed up at a podium. He's
listening to me. Well, now I'm asking him if he's just a liar, if he's completely clueless, because he's a war criminal, a wanted man, is asking the rest of the world for help on a war that he started.
Well, what I love about this too is like, you know, we attack those people unprovoked. We just rain bombs all over the country, and then when they retaliate, we're like, they're like, what? They're retaliating? How can they? How dare they? How dare they respond? You know, I mean, it's unthinkable. I mean, we didn't see that coming. I mean, they're just so outraged now. They're all butthurt.
Well, and whatever social media my family listens to, what I'm hearing is, well, you know, they've been saying death to America for years. They want to do that to us. They weren't doing anything to us until, and they still haven't. And if anything happens, you know, remember the FBI said that Iran was going to use drones on the West Coast, and then all of a sudden there was a report that there were drones that had been stolen. But the report they were actually stolen in November. They decided to make it public after the FBI said that. And then they had to go and say, well, yeah, it was an inside job. They had access to the military base or whatever. And now that whole thing has gone away. But now DHS is saying that threats are imminent in the United States. And I'm like, well, you're putting ICE agents in airports. So are they the ones that are going to pretend that make something happen? Is it going to be a false flag in an airport now? Are they going to access a plane because they can get through security now? I don't trust anything. I trust nothing. I mean, I take nothing at face value that this regime does at all.
I agree. Trump might change his mind on mail-in voting if they make Big Mac flavored stamps. All of MAGA might change to mail-in voting if they made Trump flavored stamps.
On the national report just now, they asked Trump is at an airport talking, and he said, and the question was,
a long time.
Will we see ICE arresting illegal immigrants at airports? And he said, yeah, that's why Democrats are going crazy. ICE loves it because they're able to now arrest illegals as they come into the country.
They're not coming in on planes with passports.
Exactly.
For fuck's sake. But you know, the thing is, they're going to, like people dropping off at an airport.
Yeah.
They're going to check their ID. There's going to be shit going down in the drop-off station.
There was a woman this morning that was at, oh God, I can't remember what airport. I think it was San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
That she didn't have a real ID. And TSA shows on their website, if you don't have real ID, you have to pay $45 for this background check thing, right? And
on the spot? I mean,
they do it on the spot? You have to pay for it right there. Or you can contact TSA ahead of time and say, hey, I don't have this. but can I do this? You know, that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of which, my real ID just came in the mail. Anyway, so this woman didn't have it, and she said about she can pay the money or whatever, and all of a sudden she got tackled to the ground and arrested.
Oh,
For
man.
what?
Because she didn't show her real ID.
She didn't have a real ID.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Amy, I thought you were swimming.
I was. I just got back.
Oh,
good for you.
We open up at 7.
Oh, nice.
You got
away.
You got chlorine sting in your eyes. I get that when I go to public pools.
Actually, no, not in this pool. It's very light.
Winter's here. Hello, Winter.
Hey, Winter.
Winter.
Hey,
Hi, Winter.
so Agri, so I was asking Agri how Agri got here. He said because he had originally come in on he calls it Sleazy Man Cook, my Lazy Man Cooks.
Sleazy Man Cookie.
And,
I love the different names. They're so
I love
great.
that Sleazy Man.
Except
Okay,
you don't
so
need
now you're
stamps
coming in
for
here.
mailing.
Okay.
Sleazy Man Cookie.
And, so that's good. And now Winter, I don't. How does Winter come in here? Anyway, I need to keep reminding people that if you want the best way to get the alert, get the alert that we're live is sign up at this address right here, and then those automatically go out every time we go live, and you don't have to rely on YouTube's notification.
John Thune told Trump that the Senate Republicans would finally join the Senate Democrats to support funding of all DHS except ICE until the requests are done, and Trump said no.
Yeah, because Trump. So the Thune said they had made that deal, and
and Trump said no. But here's the thing: why are they listening to this decaying old pumpkin?
Yeah.
They're
I don't know.
Congress. They're supposed to have, equal power, co-equal branches. What's the deal?
Well, I mean, they threaten them. I mean, and not just politically.
With what?
Coming back to when physical harm. I mean, that is what mobsters do.
Yes, but who is threatening them? Who specifically?
Their phone calls. They get,
Okay.
what's her name? The Alaska Senator,
Murkowski.
She came real close when she voted for the big beautiful bill, and everybody was mad at her. In a kind of an unguarded moment, I saw an interview with her where she was trying to explain her vote, and she said, "Well, they threaten people," and the guy said, and whoever was questioning her said, "You mean politically, for a primary?" And she had this long pause and kind of rolled her eyes and says, "Well, that's one of the things." I mean, they get physical threats.
Okay, so everything is traceable. IP addresses, phone numbers. Why there's not one single person that they've caught doing this to a Republican? Not one single person.
They've caught them for judges. I mean, when
so
judges
why
get
aren't they
those
catching
calls,
them for? Why aren't they catching them for Congress? I don't understand. That's the part I don't understand.
because the Justice Department is in charge of finding them. I think.
So is the Justice Department the one doing it?
Well, no, they've got all these followers. We see a lot of these. We see how intense and crazy some of these people are who come in our country, and they get the signal. And I mean, there was a real interesting moment in Trump's trials in New York. One of them, I think it was the Manhattan DA case, and when they were getting threats and they got suspicious substances sent to their offices, and then when they tried to get a restraining order or whatever they were calling it against sanctioned Trump, when they were trying to get the judge to stop him from writing all these inflammatory, provocative tweets that were causing people to call in death threats and send substances to their offices, they compiled a 100-page document documenting and correlating all these threats they got to his tweets and how they would start as soon as he sent out they proved the connection, and no matter how, I mean, you can't say he doesn't call him on the phone and say, call in a death threat to this drug. And when I saw that, and then when I saw McCroskey say what she did, I thought, that's what they're doing, the same thing to senators and members of Congress that they do to judges.
Okay, so I understand that that's happening. What I don't understand is why isn't anybody going after him? Because locally, even, I mean, state, local.
Well, in that case, the Manhattan DA did, and but the federal branch, the Department of Justice, does not pursue these people. Now, there was one that was so blatant, a woman in Texas who called in a death threat to the judge in the case here in D.C. When judges get threatened, then the U.S. Marshals kick in, and DOJ has less authority over them. And so when judges get threatened, the U.S. Marshals kick in and they find these people and prosecute them and have done so.
So U.S. Marshals can't protect Lisa Murkowski in the same way?
No, that would be the job of the Capitol Police, which ought to be pursuing that. I mean, the Capitol Police does issue reports on death threats to Congress, and they've reported on the incredible rise in death threats to members of Congress.
I just don't understand why it's illegal. So, like, they have swatting cases and stuff that go on, and they find the people. They find the people and get at and take them in.
I agree.
I don't understand why. That's why, I'm sure it's happening. I'm also sure that it's a very convenient thing to say that it's happening.
Yeah.
Whether it is or not.
Now, Agri's cracking up Jamie here. Was that what you were laughing at, Jamie?
Yep.
Trump proposed to fix voter fraud by putting a voting microchip in your forehead or right hand. It was part of a bill called 666 Ways to Make America Great Again. Okay.
Hey, Jamie.
Agri.
The side of the beast has arrived.
So we were talking about mail-in voting. Maybe Jamie can
talk about me.
talk about Washington.
Washington is really, really easy. You go in one time to register, and you do have to provide reasonable ID that you live where you live and you are who you are, like your driver's license and a couple of utility bills or whatever. It's really very simple. They have a whole list of items you can use to prove, pretty much like Canada, there's like a whole stack of things that you can prove who you are.
Well, we're dipping in here to the currently live right now, the Supreme Court oral argument on this Mississippi ballot mail-in case, where Mississippi passed a law that they could take 5 days to count mail-in ballots 5 days after election day, so long as they're postmarked by election day. And the Republican National Committee has sued over that and taken it all the way to the Supreme Court. They're fighting the idea that any mail-in ballots can be counted after election day, even if they were postmarked.
Anyway, after you register, from then on, your ballot is mailed to you, and they give you a heads up, it's coming, and you get it, you fill it out, and you can either throw it in your mailbox for the post office to take back, or they have places like a couple of blocks from me, secure deposit places you can put them in. Once you've done that, within 2 days, you can go on the Secretary of State's site and verify that they have received your ballot and that it will be counted. And it's so super simple. It's,
And you only have mail-in ballot, is that right?
Yeah, only.
That's the only way you can vote.
Yeah, you can vote you can go to various sites, like where you go to register. You could drive up there and vote there. There's enough of them around the county. Each county has one.
Yeah.
If you just don't like putting your ballot in somebody's hands other than the official office.
So, but basically, there's no voting machines involved.
No,
Right.
Well, they're going to hate that if they're trying to have
they are paper ballots, and they're marked by ink, and they're read like any college test reader.
Yeah.
You know, that's how they're counted. There is no connection to the internet at all. They're read by reader machines.
Hello, Jack.
Hey.
Hi, Jack.
Hi, Jack.
We played your Appalachian Spring all day. I was able to get a copyright the CBS, the 1958 CBS TV version that you did was copyright free. So I've got that in our music library now.
If there's any copyright owned for it, I think it's the NPR, or not NPR, but the PBS station out of Pittsburgh. They're the ones that originally did it.
Here it is. Well,
and that's kind of interesting.
That's it in the background there.
That's almost an iconic noise, that particular piece of music.
Well, I did not know until you informed us yesterday, or informed me. I think others knew. I think Jamie said she did. But anyway, I did not know that Appalachian Spring began because Martha Graham commissioned it for a ballet. I didn't know that.
Yeah. In fact, the original title was Martha's Ballet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she is the one that came up with the title of Appalachian Spring.
Is that right?
So actually, though it really fits with a spring motif, it was not written for that.
Huh.
And by the way, Blue and Jamie, I liked your contributions yesterday too.
Oh, Philip Glass?
Yeah, I really liked the Agnes DeMille rodeo.
Yeah, that Philip Glass ballet I saw New York City Ballet do it, and it was like that, not that particular performance in the video, but I saw New York City Ballet do it live, and it was like the best thing I've ever seen.
But I think that is the thing about YouTube, that it just, there's so much of this stuff out there, and it gets a little, YouTube's so busy anymore, it gets kind of lost in amongst all the trash, but once in a while their algorithm pulls it up.
Yeah, I was enjoying the AI Lego video that Iran made. So they made a couple of them. That's their propaganda machine, is they just do AI videos of Lego.
Have you seen the Chinese videos of making fun of Trump? Those are great.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe I'm in a situation where I'm rooting for Chinese videos attacking my president. This is strange. I feel very strange.
Oh, I went off and got an answer to the question about voting in person here in Washington. Each county opens an accessible voting center prior to each primary, special election, or general election, and each voting center is open during business hours during that voting period, which begins 18 days before and ends at 8 p.m. on the day of the election.
Wow.
So you have
See, this is a state that wants people to vote, and that's the thing. It's like Republicans are afraid of people voting. They are such chickens.
Yeah.
Well, they look at all of the Democrats in this state and say, yeah, we don't want those people voting.
I agree. I'm sorry. That's hilarious.
Well, when you stop and think about it, things have kind of flipped on their head. It used to be they thought that voter turnout would generate votes for Democrats. Now we've noticed that strong voter turnout, actually brings the MAGA people out.
Yeah, that is kind of a switch.
Well,
Trump,
did you hear
I
that?
agree. Trump hates mail-in voting because the name sounds too close to his sperm bank company for the elite called mail-in soaking.
Oh my!
Agree.
Mike Johnson got caught on a hot mic with about how depressed how much it would hurt the voter turnout, the SAVE Act.
No,
He did.
Was
I
that
heard
real?
about that.
Was that real?
He was talking.
I saw that, and it looks suspiciously edited to me. Has anybody claimed that it was not real, or I don't know.
I haven't seen that, but I can go look and find out.
I saw that, and I thought that there's something kind of artificial about that. But these days you just never know. You have to be so careful. But yeah, if that's really real, I want to get that and play it. Yeah. Because you're right. I mean, they were basically saying, "Oh, we don't want a lot of voters. Don't want those voters showing up."
No. The thing is, how do they know which 18% they're going to suppress, or whatever the thing is? How do they know it's not going to be the people that would have voted for them?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's like that Talarico thing with the Fox host, when he got into it with the Fox host. Well, here it is. Here, this is great. Where he was talking about how if the Republicans' policies were so great, why do they
winning in Illinois? You're happy to play by these rules.
Again, I've condemned all gerrymandering across the country. And in fact, when Democrats had a majority in Congress, they voted to ban gerrymandering in every state, red states and blue states. Yeah. Do you know how many Republican members of Congress joined them in that effort?
I love this guy.
Which one? I'm sorry. Which state did you just refer to?
I'm asking, do you know how many Republicans joined Democrats in the U.S. Congress to ban gerrymandering? All the Democrats voted for it.
Wait a minute.
Zero Republicans voted for it. Zero.
It's an odd.
You can spare me the both sides rhetoric. It's clearly one side that is trying to rig the rules in the middle of the game. This is like two football teams coming out of the locker room at halftime, and the team that's ahead says they want to change the rules for the second half so they can win the game. All of us would be throwing food at the TV if that happened. We don't accept cheating in our politics. We don't accept cheating in our relationships. We shouldn't accept cheating in our elections.
You've done the same thing as us, and we are going to, by the way, if you do it, we're going to ratchet it up even more.
And I love this. This is a news channel host saying we're going to ratchet. I mean, he just what a tell. I mean, it's like, we know this. I mean, we know Fox is the Republican propaganda channel, but I mean, he just says it out loud. We're gonna do this.
In the words of Gavin Newsom.
My party has never gerrymandered in the middle of the decade at the request of the President of the United States, nor would we. The only way this is going to happen in blue states is if Texas executes this power grab. You mentioned Massachusetts. Right. Do you know the party of the governor that signed that map into law?
Nope.
He was a Republican. It was a Republican governor that signed that map into law. So I just want to be clear with our facts, and I don't want to muddy the waters. All of us, whether we're Democrats, independents, or Republicans, we should stand up to politicians who don't want to face accountability at the ballot box. That's exactly what's happening here. And I asked you, if Republican policies are popular, why do they need to redraw these maps? Why can't they just run on their policies?
I'm getting wrapped on time. I'm enjoying this conversation. I want to let it go on, and I apologize. It's such a nature of cable television.
Okay, there's SmackDown.
That was interesting. And how do you take on the Fox people? You just don't let them open their mouth.
Right.
I just watched
all the time, man.
I just watched the documentary about the Murdochs on Netflix. And the last couple of episodes, Trump is there a lot for when they were backing him. And you look at what his speech patterns were then.
Yes, compared to now.
And it is so obvious how much he has deteriorated in the last 10 years.
Well, there's a guy on YouTube that is has a doctorate in physical therapy. And he's like, he goes over all of the things. He's he's like vocal stimming. He loves saying, somebody will say something and then he'll say Cuba, and he'll say it again because he's like vocal stimming and he can't help himself. And thinks he has frontal temporal dementia. And
He's got something.
but he points out all of the things that he does that are, and then there was an AI correction that he pointed out. Trump was making a speech and then his mouth didn't match the word. So they had to go find, I think they went and found him saying that word and put it in so that it sounded right, because you know how he has things just turn into gibberish sometimes and he loses the word. They fixed it.
That's what he calls the weave. Remember that?
Yeah, but they fixed the word that he messed up with AI, but they didn't fix his mouth. So yeah.
Oh, and there's a rumor now coming out of Iran, that they're threatening now to cut the giant cord in the middle of the ocean that starts all the internet.
Yep.
Oh, there's a big cord there's an internet cord.
The cables, the undersea cables.
Oh.
Yeah, and they said it would, like, what, 30% of all banking and stuff. It would really hurt Europe worse than anything.
Yeah.
We
argued
a lot here about Biden, Chuck. I mean, some of us were worried about Biden and his. We didn't ignore that one bit. You are ignoring Donald Trump.
Biden didn't have a cognitive
failures,
problem.
However,
Biden didn't have a cognitive problem like Trump has.
No,
Biden had a physical frailty problem.
Yeah. Yes. And he has a speech impediment. He's always had a speech impediment.
Yeah, he's always had a stutter since he was a kid.
Yeah, but I mean, he was very physically frail.
Yeah.
And should not have run.
Yeah, he has spinal
he did not
stenosis.
have the ability to do a campaign.
You know, yeah.
But the thing is, in 2020, and I'm going to say it, is that for us to beat Trump, we needed a staunch Democrat. And I think we had to have Joe Biden. I think he was the one that had to squash it and go in there and make the change. Because, and the only reason I'm saying that is because many people who were not happy with Trump in his first term said, hey, I'm going to go after Joe Biden because Biden has been in politics longer, And I've heard a lot of people say that that's when their turning point was, is that they voted for Biden. And then they were not happy with Kamala being the nominee, so they didn't vote for her. Because many of them say because she's a woman. So, which is a big problem because we've been letting men run this country for years and years and years, and obviously it's not working. But anyway.
Yeah, isn't it Iceland? It's like almost everyone in Iceland is a woman. All of the head of like everything almost is entirely made up of women. I think.
I mean, Chuck, talk about Biden all you want. We just said we had issues with him at the time. Now, but tell me, are you fine with Trump now? I mean, once again, we got into this yesterday. You always want to change the subject to Biden or Obama or whatever. You don't defend.
You always want to do the whataboutism.
I was going to say, actually, what Robin Williams made fun of was Trump. He said that Trump owning a beauty pageant for teenagers was like Michael Vick owning a pet shop. It's basically catch and release. That was a catch and release program for him. Yeah, that's what Robin Williams said.
Well, Biden became president.
Winter actually puts it more succinctly to Chuck is, why don't you act now like you did with Biden? If you talk to us about Trump. Do you think Trump's just fine? Everything he's saying and doing is just fine? You think he's normal? You think somebody who says he's glad somebody died, like Mueller, is normal human being that ought to be a role model for our kids? I mean, gee whiz.
So Chuck can't answer the question, so he comes up with another silly non sequitur.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Watch, if you can, on Netflix, watch that Murdoch documentary.
Yeah, I will. Is that new?
Compare the Trump then to the Trump you see now.
Yeah. Is that new, that documentary?
I think it was about 2 years back, but it covers right from the beginning of Murdoch's career in Australia and takes it all the way up through the fight over the family trust.
Well, Trump was already a pedophile at that point. So, and he's still a pedophile, and he will always be a pedophile. So,
Winter makes a good point. I love Winter's point here is since they just get the translated version of Trump, he doesn't sound so bad.
Oh,
that makes sense. I could see where that would be.
So you're not supposed to come here until Tuesday. Troll Tuesday. That's the rules.
That's the rules.
Oh, we're wide open now.
Cheese and rice.
Chuck got it just exactly right. He can't see just how bad Trump is. And that's the whole problem with the megas is they cannot admit. The Democrats had no problem telling Biden he needed to step down when it became really obvious how bad he was.
Yep.
Republican mega people can sit there and look at Trump and not see just how bad, not just Trump, but the whole administration is. I mean, the Democrats would never tolerate this level of incompetence.
Well, you know what? Cesar Chavez is already disappearing from the world because it came out last week. You know that he.
Boy, that was fast. Yeah.
But now it's like murals are gone. They're taking the name down off of street signs. Yep. I mean, he's done, and they might make it for Dolores Huerta instead, but who was his victim and his
they probably will change all the names to Huerta instead of.
But
sorry, Chuck. I'm gonna tell Chuck right now. Prove it.
Here's some.
You walked out there and made your statement. Now get off your butt and prove it.
Here was some front line on
that's your troll.
Check out a minute of this front line here on Trump's childhood because there's not enough known about that particular aspect of it. His mother.
I managed to catch up with Donald's parents, Mary and Fred Trump, and
this is a rare interview with his mother, and they talk about how she basically abandoned him when he was 2 years old.
What was Donald's favorite game as a child?
He played Monopoly. Yes, indeed. He played with his brother. He played with Robert. But more than Monopoly, he played with building blocks. Always with building blocks.
But Donald Trump's childhood was much more complicated. Early on, a family crisis. His mother seriously ill.
When he was 2.5, my grandmother got very ill. Donald, who was at a very, very critical point in his development as a child, was essentially abandoned by her.
And that, that explains, there's more to that, but anyway, that explains a lot of it. That explains his narcissism. The experts on narcissism say that abandonment as a child is one of the causes of, they think, of narcissism, and that explains a lot.
But you know what? I think he was just, like they say, like serial killers start out with puppies and stuff. There was a story about him. He was throwing rocks at somebody's little toddler out the neighbor, and just kept throwing until he hit it. And that's how he ended up in military school, because that was the agreement, because he needed some discipline. I think he was just a mean little kid that had no guardrails, just like now.
He was the episode that really triggered it is he punched his music teacher at 14 years old, and he was at a private school, and he had acted up over and over again, and every time there was trouble, his father would just give him more money, this private school. And then finally, when he actually attacked a music teacher punched. I think it was a woman too, and the school went to the father and said, "Look, we're done. We can't. We don't. Your money's no good here anymore. We don't want this kid." And that's when they sent him to military school.
Oh, there was a clip of him saying, asking him if he played any musical instruments, and he said the flute. I'm like, really?
Yeah. But it's so interesting. He never talks about his mother. And I saw him interviewed one time and said, they asked him, well, how did your mother, show love? And he just went blank. Can you imagine? It's like not having an answer to a question like that about your own mother. You can't think of an answer.
I think you get going down rabbit holes when you start talking about Trump's childhood.
Oh, I love it.
I understand that, but it has nothing to do with Trump.
Well, here's the other thing.
We all had bad childhoods.
Exactly. I was going to say my mother didn't attach to me, and I'm not
but the combination, of an absent mother and a domineering evil father explains who he is today.
No, it doesn't. He's an adult. He has the ability to make rational decisions.
Oh,
and he doesn't though.
Knows this.
I mean, you're right. It doesn't excuse him.
It doesn't excuse it. It doesn't explain it. I mean, no more than what I do is explained by having an alcoholic father. I'm responsible for my behavior. And let's get down to he's responsible for what he does.
Right. Yeah.
Now, if he is not responsible, then we need to talk about his dementia now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's and I'll guarantee you this is on his mind. He just turned the age that his father the age that his father was when they diagnosed his Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Which they say they think he had it before that, but he wasn't diagnosed. Trump is at the exact age right now when his father was diagnosed for Alzheimer's.
I think to my notion, Trump reminds me so much of the old folks. When I was a teenager, we'd go to visit grandmother. And all of those old folks at the nursing home, I mean, Trump fits right in. The way he acts, the way he talks, the whole bit. I mean, he gets fixated on things.
Yeah.
And you can't get him out of his mind.
There he is at 2.5. 2.5 years old right there. Anyway, there's the poll numbers. Put these poll numbers together. Man, I've seen there's worse in history, but that ain't great. Those are, I mean, not just one poll. What, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 polls here where he's down in all of them. But always at about 40% approval. He never really seems to dip below that.
I think he's so used to also to saying something and having it, then everybody just trying to make it happen for him. So it's just like, we're in talks with Tehran, blah, blah, blah. So I go look at Al Jazeera and it says 1 minute ago. I put that on the trail. Tehran says, nope, there's no talks.
I was wondering when that was going to happen. They have said that. I figured that was coming.
I put it on the trail, and it was like because as soon as he said there were, I went to look at Al Jazeera and see what they said, and they said that Tehran said there were no talks.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm not surprised. Hey, what we're saying is Taco Don.
Oh,
he's got in a tight spot. He, going to pretend like he won and walk away from it.
There he is. speak and we deliver. It's Taco Trump. That was Blue Brock. Found that one this morning. Wish Blue Brock would come on here. I'd love to talk to her. I had lunch with her one time some years ago. Where'd you put that, Blue? It's on here somewhere. I want to see who reported it. I can't find it.
It's earlier than that. It was early this morning when I was.
Well then. Boy, there's a lot going on this morning.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff.
Oh, here we go. Iran media. Tehran rejects talks, calls on U.S. Let's see that.
I wish Iran would just do the first thing that they said that they were going to do, where they were going to hack into our credit reports and wipe everybody's debt and give us 800 credit scores. Why don't they do that? Please? I mean, help us all.
Yeah.
Well, Iran's Iran. I actually would like to take Trump and Netanyahu and all the Iranian mullahs, put them all in a room, lock them in, and forget about them.
Well, we follow Al Jazeera in this case, Chuck, because they get that's where the Iranians are among Western media anywhere the most likely to respond to stuff, and they're saying there are no talks. It wouldn't be the first time Trump's lied about talks when he's wanting to back out of something.
Or like when he lied about sending a $5,000 check to Kamala Harris's re-election campaign for Attorney General in California.
Oh,
I have the campaign check picture.
And then there was the time when he had that event when he was mad at Fox in the 2016 campaign and pulled out of the Fox debate and instead had his own event and raised money for veterans and said he was going to donate all the money to the veterans and
then never did.
Yeah.
His family stole
what a veteran was.
His family stole money from kids with cancer.
Well, that's why New York shut down their charity for good. I mean,
yep.
They can't open another charity in New York after that episode. I remember he spent $50,000 of that charity's money on a portrait of himself from Mar-a-Lago, among a whole lot of other things that had nothing to do with the charity.
Well, they always operated on the basis of OPM, other people's money. So anytime they do actually give money away, it's because they've collected it from others. It's never their own.
Jamie, not if they can help it, they don't give it away.
Well, now the trouble now is there other people's money is Blue's muted here. Why are you muted, Blue?
Because I was just listening.
Oh, okay, that's okay. I thought I had done it, yeah. So.
Oh, and Mr. Vance has decided he will not run in 2028.
Oh, where
really?
Did you see that? Really?
I saw it last night. He said that he would like to focus more on his family.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm guessing it's all the hate that he gets that he can't withstand it as vice president. How is he going to do that as president?
I think somebody else is like pulling the rug out from under him and they're putting up Rubio. And the other thing is like Joe Kent, would he run? Or Tucker Carlson?
I fully expect. I think Tucker when Tucker made his part on this Iran stuff. When Tucker did that, I thought, that's what you're doing.
Well, there's
so
also
is Tucker going to pull a Pat Buchanan?
I think so.
He could.
No.
Also, the traditional
If I understand
Republicans
what
are coming
what you
together.
mean by a Pat Buchanan, if maybe I didn't understand what you meant by that.
Just be an irritating thorn in the side of the Republicans.
Because I mean that's exactly right. Because the way I read Tucker is, ever since Fox fired him, he's struggled to stay in the at the center of things, and that's why he does a lot of this provocative stuff to get back in the news. He wants attention more than anything, and the best way to do that is to run for president.
Yeah, well, but there was talk that Mitt Romney is now back in the mix, and that he is working with Pence's camp.
How old is Mitt Romney?
Oh God, like 100.
Isn't it interesting that Mitt Romney he got kind of like sidelined because of his comment about women in binders?
Yeah,
he had 2,000 women in binders. Of all the people that he could add to his cabinet was what he was talking about. But
I'm not following what women in binders mean.
Don't you remember Mitt Romney? He said they were asking about putting women in his cabinet, and he said, "I have thousands of women in binders."
Yeah.
Like he had
binders is always in like folders.
Yeah, and he said binders, and that kind of like did him in with women. I mean, they're kind of like, I don't know.
Anyway, he's 79 years old. We don't need another one of those.
No, he's done. He's done.
But I think them teaming up to try and find somebody who is younger for the traditional Republican group instead of MAGA. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Kitzinger probably, don't you think?
I would love Kitzinger in there. And that's just because I like him as a person, but he has gone very Democratic now.
Oh, has he?
He has, which I love. So if he's watching, because he's one of our followers, hi.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, I got Silas on the case on this. Silas is saying that Washington Chatter suggests that J.D. Vance is playing coy in private, feigning hesitation due to his fourth child on the way and the political baggage of ongoing Iran. He's distancing himself.
He's not happy.
Silas is calling it standard political theater of a man pretending he isn't staring directly at the crown. The bright side of this.
Well, I was going to say Marco Rubio, they would fight on the White House lawn for it, probably.
Well, Silas is cynical this morning. That's a quite cynical.
He's got some tood.
Yeah,
he needs some virtual coffee, huh?
The bright side of this particular movie is that the machinery is entirely.
So J.D. Vance is distancing himself from Republican politics.
Yeah, but Silas ain't buying it.
Well, I'll agree with Silas on that one, whatever. But he is. Marco Rubio is being real quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is basically saying, "Here you go, Trump. This is yours."
Yeah.
Yeah,
they don't want to be identified with it.
Yeah.
Because what I noticed at the very
there will be nobody in the room.
Yeah. Leslie was in the room. Lindsey Graham was in the room.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Rubio was right out front in the beginning of Iran for about 4 or 5 days because he thought it was just going to be a decapitation thing like Venezuela in and out. And then when it started dragging on and Trump started letting Netanyahu do whatever he wants, then Rubio suddenly went silent. And he's the national security. He's not just Secretary of State. He's the national security advisor also. So, I mean, the fact that the national security advisor has gone dark about this war tells you a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. If you want favorites up, you better stare at something a little more than his crown. Okay, Chuck and I agreed on something. Let's take note of that. We have me and Chuck actually agreed on something. What does that get us? Maybe actually maybe I'll just.
Well, okay. So here's the thing. Tucker Carlson interviewed Joe Kent, the CIA guy that took off.
the guy that quit.
So, so do you think maybe they would team up?
Who knows? These
You
people.
know what?
I mean,
Joe Kent is nutball enough.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he's
they
like a
could
white
easily do
supremacist idiot. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know much about him when I was reading. I think Daniel Drees.
Yeah, I hadn't known much about him either.
And you go, oh yeah,
He's being funny again.
He's a traditional Trumper.
Yeah. Now every day I got to check in about Cuba because I'm not letting go, and I got Commander. I haven't had him involved in a while. I got Commander Context on the case.
Listen up. We are eyes on that Russian tanker 24/7. We are tracking every single barrel. The hammer is cocked, and don't think we missed that Chinese sneak. If the commander-in-chief wimps out and won't make the call to secure that blockade, we are just sitting here as expensive paperweights. That's the briefing. Dismissed.
Commander's on the case. Do you know about that Chinese sneak? What they did was the China tanker did get in through the blockade. They pulled outside the blockade. Their tanker was a Hong Kong licensed ship, anyway, and turned off all their engines and all their lights, and then just drifted into the port. Just let the tanker drift into the port, and we didn't see it. I mean, and they got in there and they unloaded like 700 tons of diesel.
Turn off the lights. Surprise!
They just turned off the lights and they drifted into the port, and we had a destroyer there and all kinds of ships and everything else, and they got right past it.
Well, here's the other thing: Japan has agreed to pay Iran for oil in Chinese yuan. So the petrodollar is dead. The U.S. petrodollar is gone, and it's going to be Chinese money now that Iran is accepting. The Chinese.
Well, did Japan do that in exchange for getting through the Straits of Hormuz? Then
that's what they agreed to do. I don't know if it's happened yet, but that is what people are doing now. Is they are Iran won't take. They want money, so it's like, well, China. There we go.
That's the only way, from what I've read. The only way you can get through the Straits of Hormuz and not be attacked is to go over into Iranian waters. And to go into Iranian waters, you have to deal with the Iranians.
Mm-hmm.
And now, was that buying Iranian oil, or was that just to get Japanese shipping through that area?
The thing I read said oil.
No.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Is that they're agreed? The Iranians wanted to be paid in their currency, and Japan agreed to it. Is that how you read it, Blue?
No, Chinese
currency.
And Chinese currency. I mean,
yeah.
And so
and apparently, Italy and France are making deals too directly with Iran.
Well, it was funny because when Trump insulted the Japanese prime minister in the Oval Office the other day and made a stupid joke about Pearl Harbor. At the time, I was laughing. I'm thinking, because I was trying to figure out what that woman was thinking when he said that, because her face was priceless, And I thought, yeah, she's thinking, somebody get the phone number of Iran. I'm on their side now. And sure enough, then the next day we find out they're doing deals with Iran to get through the straits and get their oil. So that's what she was thinking.
Yep.
Well, I think, the Iranians say we can be bought.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We will deal with people. But
and the other thing is they have not been, how Trump said, well, why didn't you tell us you were going to attack us to the Japanese lady? But anyway, Iran seems to tell everybody exactly what they're going to do, and then they do it.
Yeah.
There's no subterfuge. It's just, it's kind of interesting to see anybody behave that way now.
Well, we're at the hour. I'm going to wind up with some Talarico from a few years ago. laying into Hegseth when Hegseth was still a Fox host. I love how Talarico gets on Fox and manhandles these Fox hosts. It's really, I mean that alone justifies elected him to the Senate, in my view.
Well, he's pretty smart on thinking on his feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he comes prepared.
Yeah. I just, Texas is going to be tough, but I think he's better than, what do you think, Blue? I think he's got more skills than Beto. I think Beto was more charming, I think. Maybe.
And I think the other thing is there's a lot of people there that he is tugging on their conscience. They know that they did wrong by voting for Trump. And I think he's tugging on their conscience. Just there's people that are going to peel away from voting for a Republican, even if they don't vote for Talarico.
Well, I think Beto got to believing his bullshit too much.
Yeah.
I always liked him, but I got to thinking that, he had trouble separating what you do politically with what he was as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't quite see that. I think I see Talarico very much. I was watching the thing with the Fox News guy. Is Talarico has his, I guess you would call it plug and play boilerplate that he can throw in.
Oh yeah,
appropriate time and just steamroll.
He's very disciplined in that way, and it makes people crazy sometimes. Remember, and it's a deft thing. You can do it so much that it becomes a narrative. It happened with Kamala. She was so programmed in a lot of her responses, it became a narrative of its own. So you got to avoid that. You still got to be disciplined without coming across and getting tagged as programmed.
You don't want to be robotic about it. But
you know what I heard from somebody. My best friend actually, and she's in her 80s, and she's Hispanic, and she said that she was so sorry that she voted for Trump. She said, but I just never heard Harris say anything. All I heard her was she just laughed all the time. She just laughed. I couldn't take her seriously because she just laughed, and it was like, oh my God, okay.
Well, we can. Okay, well, I'm gonna wind up here with Talarico just chopping Hegseth's head off. This is fun to watch. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow and all day long on trailmix.cc.
Troll Tuesday. Woohoo.
Yeah, Troll Tuesday tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow,
You have made a lot of money personally, and you've enriched a lot of corporations with advertising by getting on here and spewing lies and conspiracy theories to folks who trust you. And so what I'm asking you to do is to tell your voters right now that Donald Trump lost the election of 2020.
At least you resolved the lie that is Democrats are now for voter ID. It's not your show, sir, but at least you resolved the idea that Democrats are not for voter ID.
In 2020?
Real quick.
Can you answer the question? Did Donald Trump lose the election in 2020?
I'm answering questions. Don't really feel any obligation to answer anything
an uncomfortable question for you?
No.
That was good.
That was good. See ya.
Bye tomorrow.